everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, August 23, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. You may have noticed that we've had one storm on the map, hurricane storm, and you might have noticed that it was gaining power. I think it was a 4 category, and then all of a sudden it went way down in its strength. There are those on this planet that know their abilities and can direct diffusion of energetic fields, which means that they can disassemble situations that can cause unnecessary harm to all life. Now, all of us have these abilities. It's difficult to have them in ego mind, to discover them and embrace them. And because of our, I'll call it training, we are figuratively separated from that power. Now, you got to remember that we are pure energy, the gods that we are. We take on forms specifically to experience those forms. Okay? We create realities that are illusions so that we can experience. And this is why you'll hear me talk a lot about our creation abilities and our manifestation abilities, because we're doing both 24/7, whether we know it or not. Now, once you discover who and what you are in that body, you then begin to open doors that were not openable before. You begin to discover. In ego mind, you walk down this hallway. It's a visual, right? Each side are doors as you walk down the hallway. In ego mind, you try to open the door, but you can't open the door. So you just get frustrated, move down, next one. Heart-mindedness, all the doors are unlocked. You can walk in and you discover different aspects of who and what you are. And in this comprehension, you begin to discover that you have always been an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies in that body. Period. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Now, as a civilization, because of the human psyche, which is the society, we are formed, we're designed, formed, directed, educated, trained for a certain constraint, which is to exist in ego mind, be confused, and never have any self-discovery that you are a god within that body. Pretty nifty, huh? So lifetime after lifetime, of course, we don't know. And then, of course, we have some obstacles, to say the least. We experience amnesia. So we don't recall our past lives so that we can make comparisons and weigh this and weigh that and say, I did this before in this life. Didn't work out too well. I don't think I'm going to do it this life. Okay? It's kind of like you become knowledgeable lifetime after lifetime. But yet, you don't have access to it as you would like to have access to it. You can't plug into your life 200, 300 years ago and look at that life to see how things unfolded for you. And to discover, everyone will eventually discover that they are omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that never die. That's an inevitability. And you do that by going within. What is going within? What the heck does that mean? You drop into the heart mind in meditation, just like we do on these meditations. You position yourself in a comfortable position. You have no outside distractions. You relax into your body. Okay? You're still as a statue and you focus on your natural breath rising and falling. Where is the silence? It's the space between breaths. It's the space between heartbeats. That's the now. And you practice the now all day long, every day. That's what it's almost a mandatory thing for us, so that we get into that habit of residing heart-mindedly in the now, and not yesterday and tomorrow. Living in yesterday and tomorrow affords us suffering. Everyone will suffer in yesterday and tomorrow. Heart-minded, that does not exist. We don't suffer, we don't worry, we don't stress, we don't fear in the now. It negates yesterday and tomorrow. And it also negates the ego mind. The ego mind won't go there because then it knows it will not exist if it goes there. See what I mean? So we look at all these things. Where to begin? Meditation is the beginning. Silence. Spending time with yourself. Discovering that you deeply and eternally love yourself. It's all about you, because you're the one that will discover all these things. You're the one that will change the molecular structure of energetic waves around your body. By what you believe, how you believe it, and what you discover, right, during this life, this particular life journey. You heard me talk about that you're the light. Why in the heck would you go into a light when you are the light? Doesn't make any sense, does it? That's part of the trick of the matrix. That's to get you into the cycle, right? You, the God, are in the cycle. What's the cycle? In the matrix, the cycle is all holographically generated, right? Heaven, you go to heaven, you see all your loved ones, everything. And then eventually you come back here, because you can look at your life in certain aspects. And then a lot of us will come back here, and we'll reincarnate into another body, and we'll do it again, right? Because when you're in an environment that is artificial, the matrix is artificial, and and it contains the gods, us, and to keep us kind of like the wool pulled over our eyes. This is the process. And we come in to a body's born, and we experience life. We leave, we come back however long later, 100, 200 years later, and we do it again. And this is a constant, right? If we were incarnating, there wouldn't be any beings on this planet. There wouldn't be bodies, housing gods, if we just stopped reincarnating. Those that inhabit the bodies would eventually leave, and then there would be no beings on planet Earth, because we would stop incarnating. So, what's the purpose of all that? Well, there really isn't a purpose. The whole thing is designed because a group of beings have put in infrastructure, and they can do it. That's the only reason they do it. It's because they can do it. There isn't a purpose, really. So it keeps us in this loop throughout eternity. Keeps us just going, coming, going, coming, going, coming, going. When you become self-aware while in the body, you begin to discover that you do not need anything but you, the God that you are. You are self-sustaining, self-contained, self-directed, self-created, and we go on and on. You're it. Each of us are it, which means that we do it all. And the irony to it is we don't know it. We really don't. Mostly don't. And then whenever we discover that we manifested something, it was quick, right? We're kind of surprised, and then we move on. You drive into a parking lot, right? You're just thinking, boy, it'd really be nice if I had a parking space near the front door. Okay? Lo and behold, you come up, there's a car pulling out, there's a parking space right at the front door. Now, a lot of people won't correlate that. They kind of say, wow, that's wild, right? But you manifested it. It's that simple. Right? You move energy, your energy. Does it make sense that you move energy? You can move energy anytime you want. You can stop devastating storms. You can stop torrential rain. You can stop torrential snow. You can do these things already. It's just that you do not have the faith, confidence, and trust in yourself. And then guilt comes in because you're harbored in ego mind. Okay? And doubt, and you question yourself. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, we can't do that stuff. But you can. We don't have limitations. Why would us gods come into physical, material, organic bodies and limit ourselves? We wouldn't. We would open the whole thing up. We would have endless opportunities, possibilities, and capabilities. Never ending. Makes it much more juicy and interesting, doesn't it? And is it possible for any of us to discover these things? Yes. For everyone. Well, why don't we? Because we're so contained with certain beliefs and mechanisms in ego mind. That's why. It keeps us, what do you call it? Tamed is the best word I guess I can come with. Tamed conditions. Where you're in a body that gets depleted, right? Doesn't get enough energy, doesn't get enough this, doesn't get enough that. So your vessel is compromised, right? And as time goes by, it becomes more compromised. So you, as the God, don't know that you could heal that vessel. Period. But in ego mind, the chances of that happening are slim to none. You can see that we've learned a tremendous amount with ego mind. We know it's how it operates. It is a key factor. It is the prime key factor on why this planet is the way it is in this very now moment. That's why I emphasize it so much. It is the prime key factor on why this planet and why the civilization is the way it is at this very moment. Okay? But you see the shift. You see the change. You've never seen it this way before. Because the energy, remember, everything's energy. The bad guys are energy, good guys energy, in between energy, everything's energy. Frequency, energy, however you want to compile it. Okay? Now, we're energetic beings. We're pure energy in these bodies. Doesn't it make sense that we can move other energy? Because we're part of that ocean of energy. In fact, it should be second nature for us that we move it. We create. We sculpt. All right? We form it. It comes into the reality that we create. That's what manifesting is. You move energy into form, right? And bring it into your reality and experience it. That's what we do. And we all do it. It's not like, oh, just a few over here or there. It's just that we are not cognizant to the fact that we do it. Because we're so distracted in ego mind, living the ego mind life. And that is there because of why? So that we can master the ego mind. I know it sounds strange to some people, but it's true. We didn't have the ego mind, we would probably be like bumps on a log. So we become experienced with ego mind, its actions, its insecurities, its greed, it's never satisfied, many things. It protects itself, which means you protect you. Okay? And it's constantly on the run. It's constantly running because it's never satisfied with whatever it finds. Now, you look at yourself, you look at other people, and you can see this. It's very prevalent on the planet. Okay, so you have people that hoard wealth and keep it to themselves, and they believe through the ego mind that they're better than others, much better, much more powerful and controlling and everything, which isn't true at all. It's a false image created by the ego mind, another mask, right? And if you'll notice, it's never enough. And it's never enough. This is why the planet has been so lopsided for so very long. Now it's shifting. And what's shifting about it is that the frequencies, the energetic fields, are beginning to merge, organize, and structure into extremely powerful love light energy. Remember, everything's energy. And so it transitions. Why does that happen? Why does that happen? Okay? On this planet, on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy, known as Earth, why is that happening? Because much more of the collective consciousness housed within the people of planet Earth is awakening. And it is shifting the very core essence of this planet, which means that evil, destruction, greed, manipulation, dishonesty are being eliminated. And this has been going on subtly for a long time, but now it's in overdrive. So it's highly accelerated. And people just in this country are witnessing exactly that. If you are not influenced by ego mind and you look at it through heart mind, you'll see it everywhere, consistently. And you'll see it at lightning speed, progressing. Week after week, it's surreal because you have all these things that are actually happening, and you're able to burn through the facade that kept you in the dark for so long. It no longer blocks your vision. So your vision is clear, and you're seeing these things absolutely play out. Okay? Has this ever happened before? No. Not to this extent. Not to the thoroughness that it has taken place. It is a complete liberation from evil, from evil's control of planet Earth. And we, those of us that are aware, collectively, are orchestrating it. Collective consciousness is orchestrating it. And this isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It's not a dream. It's not phony, fake, or false, as the dark influences would want you to believe, right? It is real. It is as real as it's going to get on this planet. And we formulated it, and we've instigated it, and we have engaged it. And you're going to see more and more avenues, many advantageous applications that will continue to open up, spread all across the planet. Now, obviously, this is the beginning of the purification. Higher elevation of spirituality, higher frequencies coming in, photon energy belt. All right? Next few thousand years, we're going to be saturated with that. This is all converging, and it's all coming together. And then it comes into, which has been a very long time, it comes into healing, the civilization healing, the planet healing, all life healing. This is about a great awakening for this species and this civilization, this quadrant, the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy. This is what this is about. It's a greater awakening for this particular species. It doesn't have to be 90% awake at all. It could be a small portion of us that are awake and aware, that moves this along with the photon energy field. Why do you think that's there? To assist, to strengthen, fortify the process. This is why you hear people say it cannot be stopped. And that's very true. It cannot be stopped this time. The force of it is immeasurable. And all the dark forces can do is backpedal and try to fake you out, to make you believe that they're in charge. Completely in charge, like they always have been and always will be. Okay? That you're going to be destroyed, planet's going to be destroyed, and everything. It's the opposite. Sell the lie as the truth. Right? Sell the truth as the lie. That's what they do. And once you figure that out, then what they say, you know, is the lie. That they're selling us the truth. And then you look at the opposite, which is the truth, that they sell us the lie. This has been going on for eons on this planet. And the civilization has bought into it. It isn't anymore, not anywhere near what it used to. And things are opening up every single second. And you don't realize it, see, because it comes front and center. You go, wow, I didn't realize it saturated the planet this much for so long. I didn't realize that, you know, these cities and towns across our country were so corrupted and so vile. And see, then you begin to realize how close we came to losing our country. That this was saturated throughout our country in all areas, all levels of so-called government and structures. Corrupt, evil, manipulative, deceptive. And it's being eliminated. It's a heck of a lesson for the civilization and for the American people that are aware to see just how far we let it go while we were fast asleep. Just how far we let it go. And, you know, we surprise ourselves because, wow, I didn't realize we had let it go this far. It really is out of hand. It's not just, it's not someone fake, phony, and false saying that. It's the reality of it. It's way out of hand. And we're orchestrating, it's like pouring energy to heal all things. All the bruises, all the cuts, all the damage is to regenerate and heal it all. And some people are coming around to it and they're saying, wow, I didn't know it was this bad. Because, see, a lot of people are off in another world, kind of their own. They ignore things on purpose. They don't care to pay attention to them. Right? Things as, and it isn't pretty. It isn't soft. It isn't soft-soaped. It's raw. It is supposed to be that way, to expose itself to us. You may have heard that, all the McDonald's have ordered to be closed across the planet. And the rawness of it is by serving human flesh in their food. This is how bad it's gotten on this planet. This is why the light forces, on a grand scale, through the photon energy field, through the collective consciousness, is literally vaporizing all of these evils from planet Earth, lifting the frequency. That's why the Schumann resonant is out of sight. How it peaks and shoots. It's never been that way ever since they've been measuring them. But these are the things that reveal themselves on what pure evil is about. And we learn. So in a way, it is positive because it reveals itself to us, and then we learn, and we don't forget. And we pass that on to future generations, that this can no longer be ever happening on this planet again. And it's been going on for eons. It's like I said, you go to Mesopotamia, you go to Babylonia, you go to the Persian Empire, you keep going back and back. Syria, Sumatra, keep going. This has been going on for a very long time. This isn't just now in the 21st century, or the 20th century, or the 19th century, or the 18th century. It's been going on a very long time. So it gives you the idea and the comprehension of how long it's taken to orchestrate this mitigation of pure evil from this planet. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. And an easy and a slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, focused on your breath, rising and falling, relaxed into your body. Embrace your life. Your life is what it is. The greatest joy naturally blossoms inside you when you surrender to what is. This constant efforting to get somewhere better takes you away from what is. You ever feel how wonderful it is to simply rest and be with what is? Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night. The following morning, we'll return here Sunday, August 24, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you nor outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.